Okie dokie. Bit of streaming, meant to do this earlier, but as always is with life, things come up. I've got some new ideas that I want to test out. I did a drawing yesterday that I recorded that I was very happy with. For anyone who joins, it's this one. I'll just make sure this all gets on stream even. Oh, I've left my pens on there because that was the thumbnail shot. Cool. I always have this open on YouTube just to make sure everything's. Zoom that out. That'll do. Yeah, I did a drawing yesterday, this one, which I was really happy with. Because I did some ideas for it. All those pens there, that's just for the thumbnail, because they're the pens I'm going to use. But yeah, so that drawing was born out of this art. Well, it started off as this, using smaller pens, and then I did this. And the way that I drew it made me think, let's turn this into a piece, and it's now given me other ideas. Still similar to what I've already drawn, but just sort of more efficient, better ways on how to draw them. So with the drawings that I normally do with my shapes, where I start off with squares, which I still need to do tutorials and stuff for. I'm always trying to be far too accurate or far too neat with I picked up the wrong pen here. With the lines. So like normally I'm like really sort of concentrating, trying to do an exact line like this and like this, and like a perfect square, and then sort of drawing out from there. And it's just, I think I put a bit too much pressure on myself, and I tend not to enjoy sort of drawing on camera when I'm doing my time lapses as much. Like I really enjoy sort of practicing and coming up with ideas. Is that a little bit off? That's fine. So I figured out how to kind of do that. The way I do the lines, deliberately make them sort of not necessarily not as accurate, but like not always one thick line. So when I'm drawing a square, for example, like they don't always have to be the exact same thickness, which is, it's a bit, well, it's not odd that I do that. I mean, I kind of get it. Like for the one that I did before, so this one, like I really like it, but I felt like I was trying to, can you see that on camera? Yeah, this one here. Like I really like it, and you know, the line works neat and all that sort of stuff, but it feels like I'm concentrating super hard to get the line super accurate, and it's like it doesn't always need to be like that. So I'm kind of changing it up a little bit, where I'm just being a bit quicker and a bit looser, a bit rough with my lines. So like if there's a bit that kind of extrudes out like that, I don't have to get so bent out of shape about it. Just make it a bit more deliberate. Just have little bits. Poking out, and like if I want a line this thickness, instead of using a pen that's about that thick, just use a slightly smaller one. Just double up on it, like the lines just seem to come a lot smoother. I think I prefer the look of it as well, just a bit rougher, a bit more interesting. because I was scrubbing about earlier, and I looked at, because I really liked the drawing I did yesterday, I thought, can I sort of develop ideas outward from that? And I kind of have. So I thought, right, I'll do a live stream of me scribbling about, because I've tried to apply it to my graffiti pieces. So earlier I did these for my graffiti stuff. Can you pick that up? Is it picking it up? Yeah. Because I thought what I've always wanted to do is any sort of graffiti lettering stuff I want to mix with my sketchbook stuff, but I haven't quite got it down yet. Zoom that in a little bit. Oh, someone's joined. Hello to whoever's joined. Thanks for watching. Yeah, so the graffiti pieces I'm still not happy with. Like, I've got the sort of rough style of the letters that I want to do, but when I filled it in, like the last one I did, I thought it looked a bit pants. Like, the more I look at it, the more I don't hate it as much, but I'm not as happy with it. So I thought I'll go back to the drawing board a little bit and see how I can fill it, if I can outline it a bit better and actually make it look more like my sketches, which is what I like. And I've made a bit of progress. So I'll do a stream today. I'll do another sketchbook drawing tomorrow, I think. I'm not quite ready to do another graffiti piece yet. Already the way I'm drawing this I'm much happy with, because it's a little bit rougher, but it's more deliberate, and it just looks a lot smoother. It just looks a lot better. There's a few different ways I like to detail it as well, so I'll just use this little shape here, get my favourite detail pen, this little nubbin, and just go inside, maybe a couple of lines like that. I'll have some tutorials about this as well, about how I detail certain drawings differently. So a simple one that I do is I'll just panel it. So pan it like that. Neon colours. What's the thick one? I think the thick one. Mentioned it in the last one, that when excuse me, when I fill this sketchbook of my ideas, I'll do a walkthrough, like a sketchbook tour. I already have a sketchbook that filled out, but I took all the pages out and it's in a folder. I'll probably do that as a tour at some point. Yellow, where's my green? The green doesn't look as bright as I think it should. I don't know if it's running out or not. I'm not sure. Like already, just by it's taken long enough for me to get to this point. I probably should have got here quicker. But already, like just that little section of drawing's taken me, what, 5 minutes? Whereas if I was drawing that for a time-lapse video on camera, it'd probably take me at least twice as long, because I'm concentrating so hard to try and get the lines accurate, where I don't need to draw like that, although I've made a mess of that. I should have used a thinner green, but it doesn't matter, does it? Practicing, aren't we? Sketching, doodling, all that business. And then if I get my 0.5 again, wrong one. Already like that, and then I can use a grey. Where's my grey one? Try this one. And just get the under part. Maybe a touch lighter, would that be better? That's probably about right, isn't it? Straight away. Already better, already happier with my drawing. So I'm trying to look through my book to see which ones I actually like. See, one of my favourites, I'd say top 3 that I've done, is this one. But I remember doing this, and this took me 2 and a bit hours, I think. It's my favourite. It's, yeah, probably top 3. That one, that one. So I'm going to try like a version of this, because I did this on an A6 piece and I really liked it. So this is basically like a square version of that, with the new sort of line work, if you like. But what I'm going to aim for is to maybe recreate that orange one, because I've kind of got the loops, sort of the big sort of rectangles that follow. So the shapes like the big U shapes, I suppose, is the best way to describe them. So big shapes like this. And then I'd have some sort of gubbins in the middle. Or I'd black out most of it like that. And then again back to this. Probably need to take a bit more time when I'm doing the inline, because this one I do want one as one thin solid line, so I'll probably have to concentrate a bit more with this, but it makes it easier that I've got another line to follow. And then I could excuse me, take, I don't know, we'll use an orange this time. I could use maybe blue on the inline or on the inset bit. Be a bit more careful so it doesn't look as messy. And then where's my grey gone? Use a grey to fill it in. Let's make it look sunk in a little bit more, like I used to do. In fact, actually, that's what I wanted to try in this one. The only thing sometimes with these pens, when you colour solidly like that, be a bit more careful, but maybe have grey background. Something like that. So the aim then would be to have a drawing still as good as my orange one, but not have it take as long as it does to draw, because it would take flipping forever. Thought about a couple of times doing a full drawing with my 0.5, but or 0.05, not sure how nice it'd look, because you can see the sort of wobbles in the lines a little bit more. Sorry, just checking for an update. Also as well, I need to use my cheat sheet a bit more, wherever you've gone. So there's this, I've got a cheat sheet here, this thing. This is the thing I need to look into making into a tutorial. And there's another one. Did I do it in here? I can't remember. Because there were some ideas floating around in here. Was it that one? No. Before that. I cannot remember. But yeah, there was one on my A6. Again, another one I really liked that I want to do a bigger version of. Which was... that one. Just very, very simple. But it's one of the nicest ones that I've done. There was another one as well. In here. It came from a smaller one in there. Again, one of my favourites. But I've not been confident enough to do it again because it almost feels like I did it almost as a fluke. But this one is one of my favourites. But I don't know. I don't know, it just feels like I almost fluked it. I mean, I've tried to kind of do practice sort of drawings or idea sketches in here. It's like they've not been quite as nice. So I've kind of been put off. Oh, there you go, it was on the other side of this. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, so this is kind of like my cheat sheet with basic shapes, and that was one of the ideas I did. So I'm basically just applying this new rough line way of drawing to sort of old ideas and things that I've done. Oh, people have commented. Hello. Have you ever ventured into making abstract fantasy sci-fi maps? I could see your style adding something unique to that concept. Not maps, cityscapes I've thought about, because one of the old drawings that I did in here, so when I started doing this, right, so that it was like a city, and I've thought about revisiting this kind of thing. It's kind of where other ideas have been born out of, but not maps, but although that's a good thought, but cities, yeah. Coob, how we going, man? Good to see you again. Well, would you look at that, my favourite? Thank you, you're very kind. It's not going to give you too much credit. That green one is wonderful. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's been a couple of drawings that I've not been massively happy with. That I'm like, I've either rushed it or not thought about it. I'll show you the ones that I'm not happy with. That one started off well, but the red took over it. I think there was an idea that I had, but the red took over it. I don't think it's awful or anything, but I do like that one. But the original sketches I've got of that in my idea book is much better than that, so I want to revisit it. There was another one. Was it that one? It's sort of, like I said, I don't hate them, but they're just not a favourite. The cheat sheet is a great idea. Thank you. Yeah, that came about to kind of help me, because what I do is I've got an app called PureF. So I'll put, it's like a big sort of notice board, if you like, and you just put loads and loads of pictures of stuff to help you concentrate or to help you draw ideas from. So I thought I'll draw a few of them to eventually scan and put in. And because quite a few people have said to me, like my friends at home, they've said, you know, you should do tutorial videos, which I banged on about for ages to do tutorial videos, which I do intend on doing, but I just want to get it right, which is why I'm being a bit hesitant about it and taking a little while to do. Drawings already look a bit like sci-fi maps. Yeah? eye candy. Very well. Thank you very much, Lil Strawberry and Kubi. Very, very kind. It's nice to have some people watching. I never expect it. Because today's been a bit of a mare. My little girl had to get collected from school because she's been sick, so that kind of put a spanner in the works of all my plans today. But I'm trying harder to get more videos out, sort of daily. So even if I'm not doing a time-lapse video, I'm just jotting ideas down, I just want to get them recorded. And like I said, 8 o'clock, it was about 8 o'clock, I just sat down after everything was done, so I thought, right, get a quick, because I was going to be doing this anyway, you may as well just put it on stream, because I plan on doing a video tomorrow. And my most recent drawing, like I said at the start, the blue one, where are we? Whoops. So I don't know if you two saw earlier, but this one is the most I've enjoyed. Yeah, she's fine. She's just a little, I think she ate something that didn't agree with her. She's fine. She's been bouncing about like normal, just a bit sick. But yeah, when I drew this one yesterday, I don't know if you two were here earlier, it's one of my favourites that I've done, but it's actually the most I've enjoyed drawing when I've been on camera, because of the way I drew it. And I did it continuously. I didn't pause it once. I picked out the 3 colours, drew it. The line work was nice, the colours were nice, and the way I drew it is different to the way I've drawn a lot of my other ones, so I thought, right, can I apply that way of drawing to everything else? So all the stuff on my cheat sheet, I thought, right, that was going to be my plan today, to apply that kind of drawing to this. So that's why the lines look a bit rougher, but I think they look a little bit nicer almost. So that was the plan, just to get some shapes and ideas out. Like I did earlier, I put it over my some of my graffiti lettering, and it turned out quite nice as well. Anyway, enough about that. How are you two keeping? Hope you're all right, all well, all good? You got any works going on at the minute, Coob? The last 2 that you showed me were wicked. Those 3D ones, mint. Good, thanks. Managed to make a new track today. Super happy with it. Not been drawing anything yet. Nice one. I'll give that a listen to. I was hoping to, because that was my favourite drawing, that blue one I did. I thought, oh, maybe I might get a few views out of that one. 3. That's how many I got in the day. 3. I've got no idea how the algorithm and all that stuff works on YouTube. I've given up trying to figure it out. I thought I'll do a thumbnail and some tags and try and be consistent, but beyond that, I'm not going to stress about it. Like, I remember when was it Christmas? I barely put anything up for about a month because it was just so busy. And I thought, oh, it's probably going to kill my channel. I think I had the most ever rise in subs during my most inactive time on YouTube. So at that point, I thought I'd give up on how this thing works. Just best I can do is just try and upload as much as you can and see where it goes. I got a few hits on TikTok yesterday though. That was quite good. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Peter Draws, but he does some inky abstract stuff. You might like his videos. It's mad how many times his name comes up. I think almost everybody has mentioned his name, and my response is always, he is the very man that inspired me to start this. I bought all 3 of his, well, not all of his books, but yeah. Again, he just popped up on my YouTube one day, and I just loved the fact that he drew whatever he wanted, and I just loved the freedom that he did, that he gave himself, and I thought, I want to do something like that. So I bought all of his books. well, these 3 anyway, and I love them so much. So much inspiration has come from his books. Yeah, he's totally chill, like with his pens and stuff. And I just thought, do you know what? I've always loved drawing, but I always thought I had to draw what was expected of you, like, you know, still life and people and all that jazz. But he just drew what he wanted. He just drew abstract sci-fi stuff and thought, I love graffiti, I love sci-fi, I love 2D games, why not just draw stuff around that? So that's exactly what I'm doing. And I've never been happier when I've been drawing. I love it. I'll be back in a bit. Got to feed my friend's Rocket League addiction. No worries, man. You crack on. In fact, Strawberry, just hang on there a second. I'll show you something. Oof. Okay, so when I saw him do his work, he obviously inspired me to draw like that. And I started off, not on this channel, it was my original YouTube channel, and I had to change a load of stuff because one of my Instagram account got nuked. So I had to create a new email address. I thought, right, I'll stick all my art channels on one YouTube. So the first YouTube channel, I still got it. I started drawing all this. Just random stuff. So it started out as this. I mean, you can tell that it's heavily inspired by him. And I recorded, is the first one I ever recorded on here? I think it was this one. I think it was this. And I recorded a few. I think maybe 6. I've definitely recorded this one. I actually quite like that one. I remember doing this one and I hated it, but I loved the colours and the idea behind it. I just executed it badly. Yeah, these ones. So all of this stuff, I think I only did about 6, maybe 7 videos originally. But the problem is that they looked too much like they looked like a bad version of Peter's work and not my own. But it's like, how? Like, I love his work so much, but I just didn't like it when it came from my hand. And then I might even do a whole video to this journey. I bought this book here for a birthday, and that's where all this came from. So I started drawing stuff like this. Like, I preferred using straight lines and squares, and this is probably the earliest version. I tried doing another one like this, but I thought, nah, that doesn't work. These are all blue, can't really see them. And that's when we get to here. And I remember doing this. So you can kind of see this is kind of morphing between his work and my work. I thought I'll use more solid blocks. Got to that. And then this is the start of what is closer to my stuff. And that was probably the very first drawing I ever did that is more recognisable to what I did. And I loved this drawing. I still love it. And I thought, right, I think I've hit onto something. And then that was one of the next pieces I did. And then I remember after this, I bought this very book. Oh, just knocked my light over. And that's where all the sketchbook drawings have come from. That was the very first one that I did. And then all the way up to now. So, I've not been at it long, but that's kind of a quick sort of journey. I could probably put that into a video for if people get interested in it. I've only got 160 odd subscribers, so not that many people probably be arsed at the minute. I'll knock my camera a little bit. I keep knocking my camera. There you go, it's a bit better. But yeah, maybe I'll do like a more in-depth video of how I got to where I got to. But I still love Peter's work. I still watch his channel. I still use his books for inspiration. But I've now got a style that's more my own as opposed to just stuff that looks exactly like his. Because some of the stuff he's done, I'm blown away by it. I'm like, it just looks incredible. That yellow one is beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think for me, it's just just consistency with me. Like, I'll get bummed out occasionally thinking, oh, it's not good, my work's not that good, or I'm not happy with this piece, or I've got a film and I'm like, oh. Like, it's weird because in my sketchbook when I do my time lapses, I love drawing in them, but when it actually comes to drawing them, I proper stress myself out thinking it's got to be perfect. And most of the time I'm really happy with the results, but when I'm actually drawing it, I'm really stressed out when I draw it because I think every line's got to be perfect. I can't make one mistake, or you know, it'll ruin it and blah 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 blah. So I never enjoy doing them, but like I say, that last one that I did, I really enjoyed it. Like, I just sort of just drew a bit more freely, took the pressure off myself because of the way I was drawing, and I'm really happy with the results. So I'm trying to apply it to everything else, like taking some shapes off my cheat sheet, seeing if I can apply it to those in different ways, all that kind of business. Do you know what I mean? Things with YouTube as well, because all my videos are really short, like 2 to 3 minutes. I think 3.5 minutes is probably my longest one. I'm putting like 1 to 2.5 hours work in for such a short video that's not going to get, I can't really get much out of it, not on YouTube at least anyway. And if it's just a drawing stuck in my sketchbook, it's like, well, could I do more? So I thought, well, I'm spending loads and loads of time in my sketchbooks. Like, this is what I mean. This is an entire, I might have shown you this last time. This is an entire folder. This is a sketchbook's worth in a folder of me just sitting down, drawing out ideas. So I thought, well, why not just record that? Just put it as a live stream. Well, the reason being is that I couldn't do that before. Because during that time, YouTube didn't have the option to live stream. You had to have the old, is it 4,000 hours watch time, 1,000 subs thing? And then they changed it recently. Coincidentally, right as I did my first live stream on Twitch, and then all that drama with Twitch happened, and I thought, here we go. And then YouTube came along, shuffled their live stream terms. So I thought, right, I can get cracking on YouTube then, take advantage. And my next live stream, oh, why is that conking out? Okay, we're back. The next live stream I'm doing will be Friday at 12, where I draw a picture with every single Arteza pen. So 120 of these bad boys. The next one, A218, pastel orange. And once I start doing those more consistently, I might even do 2 in a day. Because otherwise it'll take me 120 weeks if I'm doing it every Friday, which is what, 2 and a bit years? Which is mental. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking 2 and a bit years to do one series. So just, I don't know, I like the look of this now. Even that just looks a bit better. I tend to lean more into traditional styles in the digital medium, but I love watching abstract ink artists. You learn a lot of shape, language and shape design that I can use in my own art. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I used to do traditional art. I don't know if you were here last time. I've got my other phone. So I used to do, I actually wouldn't mind getting back into this maybe a bit later, but I used to do digital artwork, but like movie posters. And I've done a few for a few people, but they take me quite a long time. And I thought, I can't really monetize this because it takes me too long, and there's quite a lot of artists who do the film poster type thing. So the last one I did, I don't know if you can see this, was that. I don't know if you can pick that, if it's picking it up. Yeah, so I digitally painted that in Photoshop, and there's a few more. So I've done Spider-Man. That was for those 2, Spider-Man and Hulk, were for my sister. I've done. There's a few more. I'll probably repost them on my Instagram because they're not on there yet. And I did enjoy doing those, but they just took ages, and sometimes I'd get bored and not. Towards the end, I'd not do. You know, they wouldn't be as good. And then there's a couple of other pictures I'll upload as well where, like you said there, with basic shapes, shape language and shape design, like looking for shapes within complicated drawings is like one of the most important. And I really enjoyed sort of doing that. And I thought, oh, could I apply that to sort of poster work? And what do you call it? Like figure. What's the bloody word I'm looking for? When you draw people, I don't know what the term is for it. But I thought, if I'm going to do that, I need to really learn how to draw faces properly, like learn the structure and what's the name of it? I'm sure there's a specific name for when you learn how to do like portraits and things like that. So I tried learning how to do sort of faces and bodies and things from scratch, and it is rock hard. Like, I really struggled with it. So I didn't give up. I just portraiture, yeah. Like, I even looked into caricatures and things like that. Like, I followed loads of artists. I bought a few books to sort of try and help me with the basics of learning portraits and caricatures and stuff, and it's so hard. And I just thought, I thought to really take advantage of this, or to really get the best out of it, I probably should have done that when I went to university instead of what I did actually do. because there are so many sort of real life artists. Like there's an artist on YouTube called Proko Stam. I can't remember how you pronounce his last name. Prokopenko, is it? And he's like a master artist. And I thought, because of what I'm like such a perfectionist, and think I really should be getting my art to that standard. And it's like, without doing it at uni, you're not really going to be able to get there unless you spend obscene amounts of time, which which I don't really have. So I thought, do something a bit quicker and that you enjoy. And I thought, well, go back to what I always enjoyed, which was graffiti and video games. So that's what I've been doing for the last, what, 8 to 10 months I've been doing this, and I've loved it. It's just figuring out the logistics of YouTube and just figuring out the best way to take advantage of it. Yeah, anything with the human anatomy, that was the word I was thinking of. Thank you. Proko is a great source, yeah. His it was his head tutorials where he did the ball on the stick. Such a great tutorial, but I still really struggle to draw like the head. It was when the head was looking up. Like there's a sketchbook, you can't see it, you can just see, like on my shelf, I'm not going to get it down because it's too much of a faff, but I think I filled 2 sketchbooks, like maybe 200 odd pages of just heads and anatomy. And by the end of it, I mean, it's good. It's not a waste because I still learn from it. Like I still know how to draw the fundamentals of heads and things like that. And one of the things I really enjoy drawing is skulls. Skulls are a bit more simplistic and you can stylize them a bit more. So it wasn't wasted, but I just couldn't draw faces to sort of any real detail. There's another YouTuber called Brother Baston who did the 100 heads exercise, and I loved his style. It was great. But I couldn't make it my own style, you know. I just found it too hard. But something else I was looking into was something I've always been interested in is animation. And you can use a lot simpler styles for animation. Like they can be a bit cruder, that it's not about accuracy, especially if you're doing it sort of for comedy purposes. But that's something that's way off in the distance. I want to put all my focus and energy into these. There's loads of directions I want to take these. It's just getting my head down and doing it. Good thing is, I can, excuse me. I can draw a little bit later today because both my kids are off school tomorrow, which is nice. One of them's off because teachers are on strike. My little girl's off because if you are sick at school, they have to stay off, and that's their school policy, for 2 days. Even though she's absolutely fine, it's just a bit of a dippy tummy. So we can all have a lie-in tomorrow, which is nice. So the one underneath it with a thinner pen, make a bit denser. I'm trying to figure out how to do sort of shapes outside the main bit. To make them look a bit denser. I've tried grey pen, like that's what I was trying to do with this one. Does that work? Does that work? That is the question. Yeah, it's not so bad. That's maybe that bit's maybe a bit busy. I don't mind that as much though. Let's go to this one. It's not the best line. Yeah, the main shapes I'm happy with. It's just how do I make it look good behind it? So where's the grey? Try a lighter grey. We shall try. I don't think I've tried blue and green together. Let's give that a whack. See, what I'd like to do, well, what I would like to happen with pens, because I've been on the search for so many different types of pens, and I thought I'd found the Motherlode to sort of help me fill in big spaces like that, because I love these Arteza pens that I use. These things, they're great for thinner lines. Like that's what I used for that. That's what I used for this. I wish they had every single colour that I've got as one of them. Now Stabilo, this is Stabilo, isn't it? Seem to have that, but I think the most they do is 60. Is it 60 or 80? And they are 60 quid. And it's like, I can't quite do that. I did find a load of Staedtler ones because I really, really like Staedtler pens. So, is that how you pronounce it? So I've got these, which are good. So they do them. And I thought I'd found the Motherlode with these 120 pens, I think it is. They're double-ended. I thought there's a thinner end. I don't know if you can see that. So there's a thinner end and a thick end. And I thought I've hit the jackpot here. I think they were about £35, I think, for 120 pens, and they're Staedtler as well, which are good. I've got these as well, these Staedtler ones, which are brilliant. Problem is, I can't use them in my recording book because, again, I'm assuming it's their cheaper range. Can you see it in here? But yeah, there's a reason why I can't use them. I prefer to show you, I suppose, to tell you, but yeah, I'm sure you can guess. They bleed like an absolute mother humper. It's not in there. Oh, it's in here. So I did one. Which one is it? Alright. It's quite a recent one. This one. So the greens, I used those Staedtler pens I just showed you. They bleed. Now in this, it's alright because I don't draw anything on the other side, but I can't use them in my sketchbook because I wouldn't be able to use. Yeah, they're very, very inky. Is probably the word I'd use to describe. I was a bit gutted about that. Markers are stupidly expensive. Yes, they are. But yeah, they bleed very, very badly. But I thought, well, I can't just do nothing with them, and I can't just relegate them to only using them occasionally on my A6 pieces. So after my Arteza series, I'll do a series on them to justify me paying an absolute, well, no, I didn't pay about £35, not that much, but justify you buying a massive bunch of pens. We'll use yellow and blue and green, yellow and pink. Someone's just spilt a glass downstairs, that's amazing. Yellow and pink or yellow and coral? I'll use yellow and coral. I don't think I've used this combo yet. Oh, quite like that. I quite like it. Yeah, I see, yeah. Madness. It's weird because the thinner ones, some of them feel really nice, like they felt quite sort of solid and sharp, and then I'd use another colour and it'd be quite thick because of how much ink comes out of it. I don't understand why it does that. There's a couple of the Arteza pens that do it, like it probably won't be these two, but give you an example. Like if I draw a line, like that feels quite smooth, quite solid. And then I can use another pen. I mean, not this one, they both feel the same, but there's other pens, even with the Arteza ones, there's the odd one where it'll feel really inky and wet and it'll come out. It's only happened on like the odd pen. But with those Staedtler ones, loads of them do it, so it's like I can't use them. So I thought, well, you've now got 240 pens to do a series with. But I'll be shagged if I'm going to spend nearly 5 years doing that series. Right, so the idea with this is basically to do a sort of more, so that's one of my favourites, so basically that is a more, I suppose, mechanical version of that. So I've drawn it a little bit quicker, been a bit rougher with it, but it just looks nice still, and I really like it. Now, what I'm going to try, I didn't do it, I was meant to do the this one. I'll try this one, and then I'm going to try that one. And then see what happens, see how they look. Because it's one of those where in my head I've had a few ideas, and I think, oh, that could look really nice, and they've come out looking like absolute dump shower. So that's what this whole session's for. So let's have a look. Or my pen could just stop working too, that's good. Are we done? No, he's still here, he's still knocking about. I have got replacement pens, I can't remember which sizes though. Was the centre line thin? I can't remember. Can you remember? Where are you? Oh yeah. There's a few in here that I didn't like. Like I really like that one, but I shouldn't have used the same red for the background. Yes, it was a thinner line. It's fine. It's fine. What I mean is the outside lines were thicker, and then the centre line in the middle was thinner. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's baking hot in this house. I think I found a way to draw that doesn't make me massively anxious. on camera anymore. That's always nice, isn't it? Because if I can just draw like this, just more confident lines, it doesn't really matter if I go slightly out, because you can just cover it up with an extra line and it all looks deliberate. I mean, it kind of is, because I'm just going along as I please. I'll use a 0.1 for the centre bit instead of a 5. Oh, have you stopped working as well? Is this my 5 or my 1? And then the way I do the lines here is I'll split it in half. Yeah, I quite like that, because the halfway point between these two, you can make it look as if that's overlapping it, which is a nice little effect. I've done that on the wrong side like a pleb. In fact, actually, it doesn't matter, doesn't it? Apologies for the swear words, it's spontaneous. I forget some people might not appreciate swearing or like it. But that's the good thing, if I've made a mistake on a line like that. Didn't mean to do that line, I can just faff about with it like this, look. It all looks like it was meant to be. Look at that. If I do a vertical line like this. There you go. And then use, how did it do? Colour-wise, what did I do? Just seen another one in my A6 book that I really liked, that I want to expand on. Where have you gone? Oh yes, I split the panels, didn't I? So if I get my 0.5, the mistakes are just discoveries. Love it. Put that on a t-shirt and sell it. Mistakes are just discoveries. I don't think you can apply that to every situation in life, but for artwork, certainly. So I split the lines using thinner marker. In fact, already I think that looks better, and then I used whatever colours I wanted. I used neon colours last time. I'll try. Oh, I've not used this purple ever. Let's try and use this. Purple with... What goes with purple? I've got to head off to work, but had a blast watching. Have a great day, Jamie, and hope the family feels better soon. No, thank you very much, Little Strawberry, for joining. Appreciate your comments and your views. It's been nice chatting as well. Hope works all right for you. And yeah, thank you as well for the comments about the fam. No, she'll be fine. She gets a couple of days off school, the lucky git. But now, I'm doing a stream, 12 o'clock UK time on Friday. If you can make that, that'll be great. But have a good one at work. And thanks again for joining. Appreciate it. Can I use that? Yeah, let's go with them too. Alright, I'll try to be here. Bye-bye. See you soon, Straubs. Have a good one. Oh, blimmin' heck, that's... That is a heavy colour. Holy sh... God, you can tell I've never used these before. Holy hell. They actually look quite nice today. I'm not sure it suits that shape, but the colours together look quite good. What other colours can I use? Just experimenting. I really do need more Stabilo colours. They're really nice. Let's try these two. Oh, that was nice. Had a couple of viewers, a couple of visitors, a couple of likes. I love it. So I'll be on 25 to 10. Okay, I'm sure I've used this blue before for a background, and it's... Oh, these colours are well nice. Why have I not used these before? Yeah, these colours are sexy. Yeah, I'm going to have to get the big box of Stabilo pens. There's a graffiti artist that I love called Kesty. Is your name Kesty? I forget. Kesty. And they do, I suppose, what you would call more traditional style graffiti pieces, and they use Stabilo pens, and the effects they get with them, oh, it's just gorgeous. Wow, that looks sick. Because how many pens have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 maybe? 20, 24? I didn't get them off the internet either. I can't remember where I got them from. A shop. I'm just going to have a quick search on... In fact, they're in my basket. Not my basket, my wish list. Let's have a quick look. 68 for 20 quid. No, they do more than that. 88. They do way more than that, I'm sure. I'm not, if they're 20 quid, I'll get them now. 68 for 20 quid. They do more. I'm sure they do more than that. Pack of 40. Never mind, I'm streaming. What are you doing looking at? What are you doing looking at pens? You're streaming, you dope. Right, back to it. I'm going to try using my 7. I used to use my 0.8 a lot more, but I think that's running out because it doesn't feel as nice, doesn't feel as thick. Yeah, I feel much better about the outlines being a bit more offset, a bit more lumpy. I need to check out Koob's music track. But for anyone else who may watch this in the future, go and check out Koob's work on Instagram and YouTube. His drawings, go and check out his music as well, but his drawings are superb. Superb. Yeah, I think I found my jam here. Absolutely loving the results. Loving the flow of it as well. That's the biggest difference. I mean, they look similar, but there's just a bit more detail and a little bit more depth in these ones as well. But the main thing is the flow. Like, I'm not like got my eyeball on every line drawn, like need to make sure it's the straightest line, win the world plus. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm zapping it out. Just feels much nicer because it's exactly how I drew on camera for that blue one earlier, and I flipping love that drawing now. Yes, all coming together. But yeah, I want to draw one like my orange, the orange one I did. What I shall do tomorrow is in the community section, I'll put the feelers out and say, hey, YouTube, hey, y'all, I have a stream 12 o'clock on the Friday. I draw a picture with a pen calling itself Pastel Orange. Be there, it'll be a riot. It'll be the best thing you do that day. Yeah, this is my jam. This is what we're about now, isn't it? Yeah, I just feel much better about the drawings now. And I can do it in any style that I like. Certainly any of my previous styles that I've done that I really like. Like straight, I can see the results, like just these two, that one, well, even that one. Just, yeah, I love, yeah, just happy man. Happy, 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 happy. Oh, Koob, hello. Purple and blue combo is really nice. Someone's tumbling down the stairs again. We did well in what Rocket League? 3 out of 4, nice. Appreciate the shout out. It's great when you find something that levels up your drawings, like a technique or something that makes you think, fly about a wonderful feeling. Yeah, man. It's exactly how I felt yesterday. In fact, I'll tell you where it stems from. Where's my phone gone? I don't know where the actual drawing's gone. I've put it in a folder somewhere. So that blue drawing I showed you earlier came from this. I didn't record it, I just took a picture of it. It was just a random drawing I did as an experiment, as all these things start. I haven't played Rocket League in a few days, you just reminded me. But yeah, it came from that. Will I put that on camera properly? Yeah, so I drew that. I just picked 3 random pink coloured pens from my Arteza collection. Just drew it. And I loved the way it looked, and it was just... there was no kind of thought or reason from it. And I thought, how do I kind of recapture that? And I've not been sure how to, because every time I try and do a drawing like that in my book that I'm recording, I'm trying too hard to make every line perfect. But then I remembered, well, I picked 3 colours, and because I had the freedom to go over lines that I'd already drawn, I didn't have to concentrate on staying in the lines as much. It just created that sort of freedom, and the quality of the drawing I think was better because of it, and that's what I discovered yesterday. So I thought, right, apply that to all your other drawings or all your other styles, and you'll be laughing. Really pops when you have those different shades contrasted the same colour. Yeah, that's one of the things I've sort of struggled with my graffiti stuff, like or works early on, like the red ones, where the 2 drawings that I don't like as much with the red, like I love the red, but because I used the same red for the background, it kind of merged into one. Like there wasn't an area that popped, it was just a big red and sort of black penned blob, if you like. Like, it doesn't look awful, but it's just not exactly what I wanted. So just a little bit more colour theory. I learned quite a bit of colour theory at college and uni, but I neglected it a little bit. So I thought, right, pull your head out of your backside and start applying it a bit more. It doesn't have to be that complicated, just like you say, just subtle differences in the colour. One of the things I like about the neon colours is, like, I use them for the big blockier stuff, and they, no matter what pair you use, they all tend to go together quite nicely. But it's just finding the right colours, and that's why those Arteza ones work really well, because they've got loads of different variants. It's a nice cheeky way to sort of, air quote, shade your work. So this style here comes from, in fact, I'll show you again whilst you're here, because I did another drawing like the pink one. It might have even been those exact blues I used on the other one. Where are you? For this one. And all I did for that came from, I'm pretty sure you were here when I showed the old sketchbook I had, where it was just vertical rectangles. That's all it was. And I just sort of played about with it with blue pen. Really liked the effect of it. And I thought, well, why don't I do that? I tried recreating it in my A6 book, but I used neon colours to fill in the blocks. They didn't work quite as well, so I haven't tried it since, but I thought, no, I've made it work once, so I can make it work again. It's just, excuse me, figuring out the best way to do it. And I believe it is one of the patterns. Well, it's the one I wanted to try next, wasn't it? On my cheat sheet. This one. I've not done anything with this one yet. I might give that a go. One of the things that I haven't been brave enough to do before is I've kind of done it here, where I think I have to fill up every bit of space. Sometimes that looks good and it's appropriate. Other times it just looks too busy. So just don't, try not to be afraid to leave a bit of space, leave a gap. And then fill that in with, because I tend to I like to background my drawings with straight lines, vertical or horizontal. So then when you see those lines shine through a little bit, it can have a nice effect. And filling in some of the gaps in black as well, I think has a nice effect. That's what it's all about though, isn't it? Just getting it on the paper, playing about, see what works, see what you like. It's not even about seeing what works, it doesn't even have to work, just what you like. Sticking to an orientation like that is a cool concept. Make horizontal one that has 45-degree shapes coming out of the back of it. That is something I have thought about, yeah. 100%. Love it. Negative space can be a powerful tool. It applies to music as well. Music is just the gap between the notes or something similar to a quote I've heard. Yeah, I can imagine. I do love music. It's one of those things I've always wanted to learn how to play an instrument, but it's just time. I have a guitar. I used to be really good at Guitar Hero, and I got that good at it that it made the time I'd have to dedicate to. I think it was Through the Fire and the Flames, and that was on one of them. I thought you may as well just get a real guitar, so I got one for my for a birthday years ago. And my brother-in-law got me, if I can reach them. My brother-in-law got me these killer riffs. So just little cards that you play really famous riffs on. It's really, really good, but it's just time. But no, you're 100% right about the negative space thing. It's and the 45-degree angled shapes coming out the back of a straight one, yeah. In fact, I have done, I think it was on a graffiti sketch that I did in my my other practice sketchbook. I think I had a straight graffiti piece with vertical lines, and the effect looked really, really nice. So I thought, oh, I need to apply that to one of these, but I've just not done it yet. You play guitar too? Nice. I forget the name of mine. It's a cherry red Ibanez. Oh, was it something 80? I forget the name of it. It was basically the cheapest one. But I do love a bit of guitar. I love rock and metal and old school classic rock, all that kind of stuff. I enjoy the digital workflow better though. I can get an idea down faster and experiment with note placements. With music, do you mean? Or or drawing, or both? I used to have a keyboard when I was a nipper. Really wish I'd kept it, because again, another genre of music I love is electronic and synthwave. That's probably my favourite genre of music at the minute. Right. So, zigzag that. Where's my 1? Strangely, the opposite of true drawing. Sketching on paper goes faster for me than drawing on an iPad. Yeah, I'm desperate for an iPad. I've got an XP Pen tablet next to me. It's to my right. It's what I used to draw that Predator picture on, and I really, really like it. The problem isn't the I don't know why I've done that. Isn't the tablet? It's the software. So Photoshop just became, yeah, not so much Photoshop, Adobe in particular, the stupid subscription thing. So I found Clip Paint Studio, which I really like, but it's just, if I'm being really honest with myself, it's just not as nice in terms of workflow, like with the brushes and stuff like that. I recently found Sketchpad, which I thought for the longest time you could only get on tablets and stuff, but there is a desktop version. I've not had a chance to properly use it yet, but that seems right up my street. And I've only just started playing about with pixel art, but that works better on Clip Paint. And I don't want to have to get a separate bit of software for pixel. I want to try and keep it all together. But I really, really want an iPad. I've got absolutely no love for Apple or tablets in general. Got no use for them at all, but Procreate looks the absolute business. The Infinity Undo at the tap of a finger is too much. Yeah, absolutely right on that one. 100%. Layers as well. Oh, where would I be without layers? The simple. And one of the techniques I completely overused in Photoshop, well, in Clip as well, is on my pen. There's 2 buttons on my pen. It's too far away to reach, can't be asked. I'm getting it. And I assigned the colour picker to one of them. So if I was shading, it was just, and you've got 2, say, sort of like these 2, if I wanted to shade these, you just colour pick that between them, colour pick it again, I loved it, absolutely loved it. But I wanted to make my character pieces a bit more cell shaded, a bit more almost like graffiti-esque, if you know what I mean. Because I'd say my favourite artists for characters are Stephen Bliss. He's the guy who does all the Grand Theft Auto artwork. I just love his style. It's just right up my street. And Kyle, I don't know how you pronounce his second name, Nu NGU. He's a comic artist, and his work is just mind-blowing. Him and obviously Alex Ross, the guy who does all the Marvel and DC stuff. Alex Ross, his artwork breaks my brain, because when you look at it, it looks really simple and basic, but it's not. It's incredible, and I've got no idea how he pulls that off. It's insane, his artwork. I can't get my head around his work. Right, so the vertical shapes, yeah, they work fine. I'm not going to dive too much into that. They work fine. I'm going to try the triangles next, so the green shapes. Let's give that a whirl. So the triangles, basically. They were overlapping. This is the one I find the hardest to do. Concentrate a little bit harder. A little bit harder. This stream is only meant to last an hour, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I was going to maybe watch a bit of telly, maybe watch a bit of film. Nah, see how I feel. What I will do is I'll check on the football results in a minute, the scores. I'm drawing along, enjoying the company. Nice, what are you drawing? As am I, enjoying the company. Always nice to have a viewer. I think with the triangles as well, I like the effect, but I'm looking to be too accurate with it. Got another abstract 3D graffiti thingy coming on. Nice. Just about to start. Yeah, love it. Love it. I've got quite a few graffiti books. It's my favourite style of drawing, I would say. I can hear the missus downstairs saying the kids apparently have got worms. Fabulous. That's exactly what you want to hear on a stream, isn't it? God's sake, I'm red art. I think this pen's running out. Yeah, I can work. Yeah, right. I know what I want to do with that. I think the triangle ones are best in colour as opposed to black ink. I think the best way to make these ones work is if I'm going to do it in black ink, I'd have to make the background pop. And I'll save that for another stream, because what I would need to brush up on is my clouds, because I started putting them in the background of some of my drawings, which I really liked, but I've neglected it a little bit. And sun, so like on the back of, you see it a lot in sort of synthwave sort of compilation videos that I listen to. Okay. Next on the cheat sheet, I need to do more shape combinations. But next on the cheat sheet, this one. Worms. Speaking of worms, bloody kids. Okay. Where's my 7 gone? No, I'll use the 5. No, my 4 actually. Where's that? Because the shapes are a bit closer together. I haven't actually done a proper full drawing of this pattern yet. I'm going to rough out a few more ideas with it first before I record a drawing in it. I can see a decent drawing come from this pattern. I'll have to play about more with this shape. I think I've only done it like once or twice in sketching, not properly played about with it. There could be something in it. Yeah, I think there could be something in that. I think this pen's running out. Yeah, I'll play about with that one a bit more. Looks really nice, angular and sharp. Yeah, I quite like the effect of that. Oh, my finger, I'm just going to check the footy. Check the footy. Man City battered Arsenal. That's the league gone. Chelsea lost again. That Sheffield United promoted. My mate will be happy. Oh, we pulled it back to win 2-1. Love it. Yeah. That's the title gone. They tried their best, Arsenal, bless them. I'll take that. How does that look in the league? 2 seconds, I'll be back in a minute. Sixth if we win our game in hand, 56. Oh no, yeah, no chance. No, I think I'm gonna have to settle for fifth this year. Oh well. Yeah, so that angular one, I'll play about more with that. I think there's something in it though. I'm going to go back to this. The fact that I did a drawing which has the most views I've ever had on YouTube, and it was this one. I think it's 1,400 views, that one. It's probably the most basic drawing I've done. I think the background makes that one pop. So I'm going to try and recreate something a little bit like that. Not exactly like it, but same kind of idea. I did the sort of the rough sketch version of that in that folder I've got. It's in there somewhere. And the idea behind that, I remember when I came up with the idea of that, it was kind of like carriages on a train, but like a futuristic train. I can't remember what, there was was it R-Type I was playing? But there was a shoot 'em up I was playing anyway, or that I was watching a playthrough of, and there was something in that gave me the idea. In fact, that is exactly what needs to be on my... Oh! What am I on about? Silly Billy. I did... Is it in this one? In fact, that idea, the old cheat sheet, came from this. I forget when I did this. So I actually did this. So the square overlap, they're a little bit more detailed than the other cheat sheet, but that was the square overlap, the square linked. I think it was this, the square linked. Overlapping lines, vertical, that's came off the back of that blue drawing I did. The random shapes, I want to experiment more with that. I call them worms. Connecting wires, large foreground, and then overlapping, then just one large shape. Yes, I remember now. Yeah, that was the original idea for that one. I remember that now. Yes, it's all coming together. Yeah, I need to pull my finger out and start really putting together a workflow package, if you like. I don't like calling it a tutorial because they're just basic shapes. You know, I don't really need to tell people how to draw basic shapes, but a workflow, how I draw, how I come up with ideas, how I turn basic shapes and lines into interesting drawings, that kind of deal. Time gone, got 10:15, been on. I'll get to the bottom of this page and I'll wrap it up. It's actually been a really productive session, this as well. Been nice, been chatty. Always good to chat to your cube. Love the idea of cheat sheets. Yeah, that because I like working from reference, just to give me ideas and inspiration. And because I've got quite a lot of pages of work, like the ball ache of turning pages and sifting through folders of work and stuff, I thought, well, why not do a cheat sheet and then scan them all, stick them on your PureRef page. But the main takeaway from this is the way that I'm drawing my lines now. I'm not stressing about doing a perfectly straight line. That's got to be within, it's got to go over the dots exactly. It's, I can be a lot loose with it, peel off other little blocks like that. If you want, you can thicken them up and it all looks deliberate. Which, as I said earlier, it is deliberate, but like I say, if there's like if a line goes out of place like that, for example, you can just kind of draw over it, make it into something else. I think that's why Peter Draw's work is so good. That's why his work works so well. Because he's so free with the way that he draws. Nothing has to be exact. It's just he'll just kind of go with the flow and create something out of whatever lines he puts down. And if he doesn't like something, you can just sort of draw over it or draw through it, create another idea out of it, turn it into something else. And I just loved that freedom. That's what drew me to his work. That's what inspired me to do this, because I just love the freedom that he draws with. And it's exactly what I want. Obviously just have to find my own style kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because what I'll do in terms of the tutorial / workflow videos that I'll be writing out. It's good job I'm ending soon. My phone battery's just about to die. But yeah, with the cheat sheet stuff, I'll do one where it starts off with shapes, then it will go on to detail, colour, all that kind of business. Great mix of deliberate and free. Yeah, 100%. He's just a brilliant artist. I just love it. The different thickness of pens seems to really work for me. Yeah, I think I'll start writing episode 1 next week. And I think the first episode I'll do with the tutorial stuff is workflow. basically I'll go through the stages of my drawing. So basically how I develop out a drawing. So it will start off with a basic shape or shapes. I'll do the outlines for them. I'll decide what type of detail I want inside. So if I want panels that I want colour in, if I want it to be more random line work with sort of darker fills, which is what some of them are. If I want it to be all blocked as one colour, overlapping pen lines, that kind of stuff. Then I'll go on to the background. I did actually start, I don't know if you saw this. I might as well show you now whilst you're here. I actually did a workflow thing. Where are you? It was quite recent. Yeah, there. So I'll send you my piece I just finished. Yeah, definitely. I really want to see that. Yeah, there you go. Outline. So shape, outline, detail, additional mid. I'll call that mid-ground, or is it really the mid-ground? Or I suppose outline, detail, and then background. I think I'll do that. Where's my phone? Yeah, I'll wrap this up with this one because my phone battery's going to die. And what I'll probably do is I'll use greys for this. Maybe a smudge dark, that one. Try a lighter grey. Yeah, that works. That's a bit better. There you go. And then maybe fill it in a bit. And then use colours for the panels. I don't need to colour the panels now. But nice. Great stream. Happy to see you work through different ideas. Thank you very much for joining. Very much appreciate it to you and Strawberry. But yeah, man, send us that. Send us the piece you've done, and I'll get your music listened to as well. But that wraps up. I don't know how long we've been on. Too long enough. But yeah, just applying a new way of drawing my lines to all the patterns on my cheat sheet and all the vids that I've done before, and I'm much happier. I'm really happy with the results, and I think all my work will come out faster and nicer. But thank you very much to Coob and Strawberry Little Strawberry for joining, commenting, liking. I've got a stream on Friday, 12 o'clock UK time. That's GMT, I think. where I continue my series drawing with every one of these things. So it'll be episode 4, which is A218 Pastel Orange. That's the colour I'll be on next. And tomorrow I hope to have a new sketchbook sketch out. I might do an A6 as well, some other things. But until then, I'll catch yous. Have a good one. See yous all later. Ta-ra.